Hey there, Tarkov players in YouTube land. Seasoned vets or brand new guys haven't played yet, girls, gals, making a little beginning wipe tutorial on some of the best guns here. As for me, this is going on 3 years here. These are my stats, not great. Definitely can hold my own. I got about 4,000 hours in the game. It's kind of embarrassing, but it is what it is. Um, and we're gonna go from there. So I'm gonna start off with level one traders, the best guns. The caveat to that, you gotta have Jaeger unlocked, which isn't hard and should be done in the first few raids. So you gotta kill a few scavs, um, and then you gotta get Jaeger's note at Woods, and you gotta bring it in and turn it into Prapper. So you should have that done a few times. That can be done naked. It can be done with scav gear. It can be done with whatever submachine gun you have in your inventory. But we're going to pretend like we have Jaeger unlocked already when we do this, just to cover all the level 1 trader guns. So first and foremost, the go-to, the SKS. The only caveat to the SKS is they've gotten rid of PS ammo available at level 1 Prapper. It can be found off other scavs. So if you kill a scav, check if he's got that. You'll want to save it, and you'll also want to save 30-round mags if they have an AK, because we can't get those either. We can do a barter for them right here at level 1, but we cannot just outright purchase 30-round mags. We can buy 20-round mags. Those, I believe, are over at... Well, Peacekeeper has the 20-round mags for the SKS right here for 68. You can buy those right off the bat. And they'll go in the SKS. It can be changed out like a regular magazine, or it can be top-loaded. The stock SKS, however, with the 10-round, has to be top loaded. So keep that in mind. It reloads really, really slow, and you only got 10 rounds. So I'd suggest getting the 20 rounder and then getting one more if you're going to wear a rig. If you're not going to wear a rig and try to go in minimalistic, then just be prepared that it's going to take a minute to reload this thing from the top. So with that, SKS. One thing you do want to do with this has been a trick for quite some time, and it still holds true. To get a better sight picture through the iron sights, you remove the rear sight on the SKS, and it has a way better sight picture and doesn't really affect point of aim that much at all. If any, you won't notice it, especially moving it in a gun battle. I mean, we're talking an inch or something at 50 meters. You're just not going to really notice it. So that's always the go-to. Again, hurt a little bit because all we have now is FMJ. And then I'm going to move us over here to Skier, my favorite gun. So this is the VPO in 366. That's the caliber, right? So this is my favorite one. This is what I run. So if you have Jaeger, you have EKO ammo, pretty much right off the bat. But FMJ, either all these, they hit hard, and even if they don't pin armor, they do a lot of damage really quick. So I run this. Again, there's somewhat of a caveat. We can't buy 30 rounders, but we can buy the 20 rounders that'll fit right here with him. They're not that expensive. 20 round in this gun's quite a bit, especially as hard as it hits. You can also get FMJ here. So if you start running out on restocks and things like that, this gun's the one to go to. Minus the 20 rounders. The restock's great because Skier sells this gun at level 1 traders right here, and so does Jaeger. And Jaeger's more expensive, and you're going to start running out of suppressors, but Jaeger sells the gun too, so very consistent. That's my usual go-to unless I'm doing a gun specific. Another nice thing, which I have one set up here, and I'm going to show you. So this is what you can do at level 1. You can get a little ergo and a little recoil control with this front grip here. We're just going to go to edit preset. We can get a suppressor, so this is huge. 366 has a suppressor readily available at level 1 traders. Now there's a purchase limit. It's not that expensive though. I think it's like 28,000 rubles, give or take a couple thousand. Not that expensive. And suppression, early wipe is huge. Everyone's ability to pinpoint location because of their perception is really low. So it's hard to pinpoint where sounds are coming from. But when you're suppressed, I would say 50 to 60 meters out, they're not going to pinpoint you from one shot. So this gives you a huge chance. This almost gives you 2 or 3 shots before they can find your location. And that's a huge advantage. If they haven't seen you and you get the first shot, you're probably going to get the first 2 or 3 shots. Another advantage. Now this is hard because this is always sold out because a lot of people run these. But getting this Bastion. You can get this Bastion. I think you can buy 5 a reset. I suggest you try to buy it as soon as you can. As many as you can. And then for sights, there's a couple options. I run this one. I think it's the cleanest with the triangle without the dot. But you can also, run the MRS, wherever it is. And it can be found, I think, at Peacekeeper level 1. Right here, the MRS can be ran. There's another one that I'll show you later with the M4 build. But there's a few options, and you can put it on there. You can always run it with the iron sights too, if you like. I just like having a red dot there. This one's clean, and also with this caliber, it does have quite a bit of drop, and with the sight, we can mitigate distance, right? So if you use your, I think defaults page up, page down, we can kind of sight in. So if we know they're real far, say 100, 150 meters, we can dial in, right? Instead of just trying to guesstimate and cover them up with the front sight post on the iron sights. So with that, also, I guess while we're talking about it, we got bolt action quests. A lot of people run the Mosin, and the 7.62x54R does hit hard. But again, we can run Eco here, and we can run FMJ here. This hits hard, and it's cheap. And it also has the ability to have optics put on it. And let me go ahead and just buy this. If we do have quests where it needs to be iron sights, I can tell you this thing is a lot cleaner if you pull that off. So if we pull that off, we can do our iron sight quest a lot cleaner. It takes 4-round mags. They're super cheap. You can get them, and probably one of the best things about this, and hopefully you guys have guessed it, yeah, it shares the same caliber suppressor. Again, suppressors, I can't tell you how important that is early. Super important to have a suppressor. It's a make or break a lot of times, especially with a bolt, because you'll be able to get 2 shots off if they don't know where you're at. So they're not going to pinpoint you in 1 shot. So that's huge. So that's my go-to. I know a lot of people run the Mosin. I run the Mosin, but the inability to put optics on it and the inability to suppress it always, and just the cost. It's 38,000, 42,000 rubles. This is 18.5. So this is my go-to early wipe. So with that, we will take a look at the Bear equipment first. I'm not sure if it's an AK-103 or something like that. It's actually not an AK-103. I think it's a 106 or 104. It's the 545x39, but for all intents and purposes, this is the same setup. So we're going to take a quick look at this and show you what we can do here. A lot of it's going to copy the VPO in a sense. This one, if you can't get the Bastion, usually you can get the same type of sight that'll fit here. You can also get a scope if you're having to do something long range. I believe it's a PSO1. It's not a good scope, but it is a scope, so if you need that zoom capability, it's on there. Usually how I set it up, we don't need the Bastion with this because it's got the side hook. And we can come in here, we can do this for a little bit of recoil control. And there you go. Pretty basic, pretty good. The ammo, PS, and all that, and T tracer ammo, it's not that good. And 545x39. But it is what it is. It's fully auto. It's kind of controllable. It should be really controllable with the new recoil from the videos I've seen. Hopefully that makes this really viable early wipe. So that's what we do in USEC. As far as submachine guns, I do not recommend them. PS is terrible. Right now the recoil is terrible. And if they do fix the recoil, then honestly, the assault rifles are going to be crazy good anyway. So there's no reason to mess with PST 9mm. Um, it doesn't really do that much damage to do leg meta. It doesn't pin armor well. It doesn't do a lot of damage to armor, even level 3 like a P.A.K.A. So it's just, I don't recommend using that or the MP5 or pistols for stirrup or whatever. It is what it is. You can use any of them. They're all the same. It's basically you got to get a headshot or get lucky and they're not wearing armor and get a mag jump on them. But it's, for all intents and purposes, submachine guns are pistols unless you start getting 30 round mags and you can keep it on them and chew through a bunch of armor. But even then, why not just use the assault rifles, right? So, all right. Now for USEX, the M4 you get a couple of these. You do get an MDR. It's okay. Use it. Usually I set it up kind of meta. You get 1.4 grip. You get a decent Ecotech sight, and I put it on there on that MDR, and usually lose it right away, but it is what it is. But with the M4s, we get a couple. The caveat to this is you can't get a gas block, so this is in your way. So here's what we're doing. This is all level 1 traders. So it takes 3 things. We got to get this base that changes it to a Weaver mount. We got to get this, which is a riser. And then this H2, it's a red dot. It's okay. It's not, I mean, I definitely don't use it in white, but it's okay. Definitely better than irons, right? And this gets us up over the post right here. You can see our line of sight. And it's pretty substantial. It's usable this way, right? And that's how we get away from this A post, this gas block A post front sight from being in our way. Makes the gun usable. Unfortunately, you can't really do much about the grip in the front. Recoil in the past has been terrible, but I think with the changes, it's going to be a lot better. 8.55's decent ammo. If I can't get 8.55, I've depleted it or used it or whatever it is, and I just go to FMJ. It's okay. It's better than 9mm for sure, but it's, it's no 3.66 eco either. It doesn't hit near that hard, but it is what it is. So with that, these are what I do. And I guess while I'm in here, I'll just set this up real quick, just so everyone can take a nice little look here at the end. We're doing that. Doing that. All right, so here's the 4. SKS, like I said, it's viable too. I don't really go to it anymore with this being available. This is my main right here if I've depleted any one of my starting weapons. So there's that. There's a short crash course. And I just want to show you the eco right here. Hits hard, does decent on body armor at the beginning. And if it won't go through the armor, it takes a lot of points out. So there you guys go. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe. If you got any comments, questions, constructive criticism, or just criticism, go ahead and throw it in there. I'll try to respond to it in chat or in the replies. And I'm going to make a video on starting armor, gear, and the whole shebang and how I go into raid. The most economical way I've found anyway. So we will catch you there and appreciate the views.